Welcome back, everybody, to our virtual Renaissance Fair. Earlier today, I spoke with Randy, a dancer with Terra Nova Tribal Dance, and now I'm speaking with one of their other members. This is Michelle, and Michelle is going to tell us about an instrument today.
Yes.
Michelle, what is this?
I get that question a lot. This is a hurdy-gurdy, and I'll hold it up here so you can see the whole thing. It is originally from the Middle Ages. The earliest pictures of it are found on carvings in churches in Spain from about 900, 1000. So it's a very old instrument. It's sort of like a fiddle or violin that plays with a wheel and a keyboard instead of putting your fingers on the strings and using a bow. So I'll show you the pieces here. So these are the tuning pegs, just like on a violin or guitar or something like that. On the inside here, this is the really cool part, there's a lot of little tiny stoppers that we call tangents. And when I press a key, it presses against the string at that point. So if you've ever played a piano, when you're playing the hurdy-gurdy, it's like standing behind the piano and playing it, and you've got your black keys and your white keys. They're just in a different configuration. So that will change the pitch of the note, which is based on the string. So I have two what I call melody strings here. So those play the tunes and change with the keys. I also have a couple of strings on here that are called drone strings. So this is a drone instrument like an accordion or a bagpipe. There's always some kind of background note that's being played, which is kind of unique, part of its unique sound. But its really unique thing is a string over here called the trumpet, and it sits on a little bridge like the other strings do, but this bridge is uneven. So when I give it a little bit of an extra push with the crank, it will vibrate and it creates a buzzing sound. So when you hear a hurdy-gurdy played and it's buzzing, it's actually supposed to be doing that. So it's a way of creating a rhythm, like having your own built-in drummer. And then at the very bottom is the crank. So I use this to turn the wheel, which makes the sound of the strings.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. So it's a bit like an auto harp in that you push the buttons to make the chords?
A little bit, yeah. There's no way of playing chords on this, so you can play single note melodies, which was much more common in the medieval music anyway. Chords were kind of a later invention in music.
Well, how long have you been playing the hurdy-gurdy?
I've been playing for almost 2 years now, so I'm still a bit beginner, but I really love it and love playing this instrument.
What drew you to it?
It was from going to medieval and Renaissance fairs and reenactment events and hearing the music and hearing this strange instrument and being really drawn to the unique sound that it makes.
Now, what would you say to someone who was interested in starting this? Are hurdy-gurdies affordable?
They're pretty expensive to get started. Unfortunately, it's not really an instrument where you can just kind of try it out. It's a very small number of people who play them, so each instrument has to be made by hand. There are no factories that make them, which makes them more expensive. So a beginner instrument, you could find one. There's a great maker in the Ukraine named Gordy Staruk. He's got a beginner instrument that costs about $600. You do have to get on a wait list though, and then that's going to take a couple of years probably to get through the wait list. There aren't really any, and there's nobody in the US that makes good hurdy-gurdies right now. There's a maker in South America, I think it's Brazil, Eduardo Luz, who's a really good up-and-coming maker. So I would say if you're interested in learning how to play or just see if you even want to get into it, to look on Facebook for the hurdy-gurdy community. And of course, you can reach out to Terra Nova Tribal and talk to me, and I'd be happy to let you try mine out and give it a shot and see what you think about it.
So do you have to know music in order to play a hurdy-gurdy? I know a lot of guitar players, for example, can get by just with tablature. You don't have to be able to read music.
Some people can just listen to a tune and learn it and play it by ear without having to read music. Unfortunately, my ear is not that good, so I do learn by reading notes. There isn't really anything like guitar tab for hurdy-gurdy, so it is reading notes. But it's pretty easy to learn because of the chromatic keys, the way the keys go up and down. It's not too hard to learn on.
Do you play any other instruments?
Yeah, when I was much younger, I played a little bit of piano, and then I took some violin lessons when I was in college. So that definitely helped to get an ear for music and just learn how to read music and play a little bit.
Now, Michelle, would you like to give us a little demonstration?
I would love to. I will put my strings on here. So we'll have a drone, a melody, and the trumpet. I'll play a little bit and you let me know if the sound levels are okay, because it can be a little intense. Let's see.
Fantastic, Michelle. Does that song have a name?
Is Kipri, which is a name for Cyprus in the island, and it is probably a medieval tune, but it's been changed a lot over the years.
Love it.
Thank you.
Okay. Michelle, thank you so much for talking with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to participate in our summer reading program, and if you want to learn more about how to play an instrument like the hurdy-gurdy, I don't know if there are hurdy-gurdy lessons on there, but if you visit our Artist Works database, which is free with your library card, there are music lessons for a variety of instruments available. You can access that at tulsaLibrary.org/research/databases. And if you have any problems with it, you can call our help desk. So I'm going to say thank you, Michelle, for talking with us today. And thanks everybody for joining us.